everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Cracks at Turning Problems into Solutions. This is me Priyasha, and today in this video we'll be discussing some questions on para completion and also understand what are the tricks which will help us to solve them accurately as well as faster using CAT previous year questions. And also make sure to check out the link in the description box to join my free live classes at Unacademy, which will be related to the para completion and other such verbal ability questions, so that you can practice more and more live with me for absolutely free. And with this, I also want to tell you about the Unacademy's Champion League for all the CAT 2022 aspirants. So if you're planning to give the CAT 2022, then you should surely give this early mock provided by Unacademy absolutely free. What you just need to do is use the link in the description box and enroll yourself using the code Priyasha10, so that along with this free test, you also get access to the 4 days free workshop associated with it, in which there will be the top educators of Unacademy taking sessions on the sectionals and a topper session who would be sharing his, things and tips which will help you in acing your examination. And to top all of this, you should be happy to know that this examination is completely in the paper pattern of CAT 2022 with 66 questions to be answered in 120 minutes. So you should not miss out this opportunity, because this will not only give you a chance to check where do you stand right now 7 months before the examination, but will also give you a chance to win up to 100% scholarship and amazing gift prizes like MacBook Air, iPhone XR and Apple AirPods. So do not miss out this opportunity and use the link in the description box to enroll right now. Now let's get our video started. Hello everyone. So in this video we will be talking about the para completion questions. We will see what are the major techniques of solving the para completion questions, and then we would be moving out with an example which will be a CAT 2006 paper question. See, the reason for taking up this question and explaining these techniques with the help of that question is so that you get to know, in case generally we do not follow the longer methods of following the techniques, using going step by step, things like that. But whenever we come out in a situation where we are not able to recognize the difference between which two options to take, or something like we don't understand the passage, at that moment it becomes very essential for us to understand from the very beginning what's the topic, what's the theme, what's the tone, and these things will help us either to eliminate between two very close options or to understand what the paragraph is actually talking about. So therefore, knowing the major technique is very essential. In my upcoming video, I'll also tell you a very easy method of eliminating the options in para summary or para completion questions, which would help you a lot in your actual practice sessions. So don't worry, this is the session 1 on para completions. I'll have few more sessions on para completion where I'll be making you practice a little easy, moderate, and then advanced level questions, just like I did for the para jumbles. So now let's get started. The first thing which we will be doing is the basic technique of solving the para completion. So the basic process which will always lead to the accurate answers starts with step number 1, identifying the subject of the passage. So when you read the passage, what is para completion? Basically, the paragraph is given whose last line is missing, and the last line will generally be the line which will either sum up the entire information of the passage, or it will come up through a sentence which will either be the effect of the causes mentioned above. It can be in various phases, so we will be discussing that at the bottom. But now just understand that while you are guessing out what should be the last line of this paragraph, you need to actually understand the main material at the top. So identifying the subject will be very essential in finding out which options can be very readily eliminated. Coming to the second step, which is looking at the theme. So just like we were doing in the case of para jumbles, identifying the subject and the theme would help us a lot. Either we are solving the para jumbles or we are solving the para summary or the पैरा कंप्लीशन क्वेश्चंस. सो ये कुछ ऐसे बेसिक स्टेप्स है जो आपको हर जगह हर टाइप के क्वेश्चंस पे काम आएंगे. सो मेक श्योर दैट आइडेंटिफाइंग द थीम एंड द सब्जेक्ट इज समथिंग यू आर डूइंग फॉर अ मस्ट. and then we step down to the tone. So in para completion, it's essential to get the tone as well, because if the author has started something in a negative tone, he is bound to finish that also in a negative tone. Or if someone has started with a didactic tone, then your last line should also be a didactic tone, and so it really helps you in eliminating the options at a faster pace. And you can do a question in less than a minute, and this minute saved in these questions can be utilized in the other questions as well. So make sure that once you are done and good with accuracy, you start focusing on the speed. Then comes the fourth step, which is finding out the keywords or the transition words. Why do you think will it be useful or helpful? When you focus on the words that the author stresses on, you also focus on the transition words such as so, therefore, hence, etc. And these words will help you understand the flow of the thought and the author, and of course it will help you to establish some kind of a sequence in your mind map. So this sequencing will help you to identify not only the flow of the passage, but also the next upcoming line. And lastly, we have the logical flow or the thought of the author. So yes, we have to visually draw the logical flow of the ideas in the passage. So just like in the para jumbles, using this idea or using this technique, we found out which line will come after what. Here also we will be finding out that which will be the last line. We have to read the passage as the chain of events and focus on the keywords, connectors, conjunctions, or the transition words as well. The missing line should continue the thread of the thoughts in the sequence, and the options which do not flow in the same direction needs to be eliminated. So therefore, we know that this will help us through the entire process of finding the answer. Now, identifying the pattern is a very essential thing. Pattern of the question can be of various types, as I have mentioned. It can be a cause effect one, where one of the most conclusion patterns follow. Okay, the paragraph will represent us with the causes, and the correct answer in the options will represent us with a perfect logical effect to it. For example, a paragraph is talking about the causes of global warming, and the summing up line or the final sentence will be talking about the effect of it on our present population. So that is one most commonly seen para completion question. Then comes the category of course of action. So what happens in course of action? The paragraph presents us with a situation, and the correct answer offers us with a probable course of the action. The solution may be either of the two types, which is what can be done or what could have been done. Like if something wrong has already been done and that is stated in the paragraph, then in the answer option you would find out what could have been done better so that this situation wouldn't have occurred at all. Or else if this if still we are in the process of doing certain things, then what can be done to make it better will be the course of action. Moving to the third category, which is the sequence or the logical continuity. So this is the basic type, where the paragraph may present us with a series of events following a definite and a linear timeline. The correct answer option may extend it a little more further, and be very careful of the answer options here, because when we are not dealing with cause and effect or course of action, the logical continuity can give you traps by giving you similar keywords. Okay, what are the traps here? Similar keywords. That means suppose the topic is actually about students and only one point was about the peer pressure, but the logical continuity options, like in the options there will be one line talking about peer pressure, so you will try to connect it using these connectors, but that is a trap. That's not the real answer. So make sure you check that. And the last one, the most essential one, is the conclusion of the paragraph. So for that, you have to focus on the key ideas of the passage. You have to look at the passage and try to identify or summarize the passage in your mind by having a central idea. And that will help you to have a perfect conclusion also. All right, we'll quickly see if we can utilize these points in one of the questions below. So here's one question where we can discuss how to utilize the points we learned just now. So let me read out this question for you, and then we will be discussing how to utilize the steps above in a real-time question. Relations between the factory and the dealer are distant and usually strained as the factory tries to force cars on the dealers to smooth out the production. So strained relation between factory and the dealer. Then comes relations between the dealer and the customer, all right, are also equally strained because the dealers continuously adjust the prices, makes deals to adjust the demands with the supply while maximizing the profits. This becomes a system marked by a lack of long-term commitment on the either side, which maximizes the feeling of mistrust. In order to maximize their bargaining positions, everybody holds back information. That's an essential information for us, that everybody, all the three of them, that is factory, dealer and the customer, are holding back information, the dealer about the product, the consumer about their true desires. So what is this all leading to? What do you identify here? The first thing when you look at this passage is the subject of the passage, and I understand that the subject of the passage is about the factories, dealers and the customers, right? So these are the major, like everything is around them and their relation. So relation between them is actually the subject of the passage. If I carefully figure out the theme, then this relation is not just a simple relation but a strained relation. So the theme is the strained relation between them. Moving next to the tone, of course, the tone of the author in this entire paragraph has been negative or not optimistic, because he's continuously talking about negative things, the strained relations between all the three. So yes, it's negative. And how will it help us? It will help us in the option elimination. Just check out. Keywords and the transition words which we'll find here is the words like strained relation getting repeated, mistrust and holding back the information, which I have already underlined. And then we see the logical flow of the author. So logical flow of the author is basically talking about the causes of the strained relation. If you identify here, the causes are already mentioned, that why are they like actually doing all of this. So when the causes are there, what is the effect? Even the effect is there. The effect is that it is marked by the lack of long term commitment. And what should be the last line in that case? See, all the options are starting with the keyword as a result. If you carefully observe, all the options are as a result. So hence we know that the options are the effect. So we need a line which will be preceding this cause. What was the cause? Cause was the strained relations because of various reasons. Reasons is reason of factory is mentioned, reason of dealer is mentioned, and even the reason of customer is mentioned because of his bargaining positions. He hold backs information. So what do you find here? Deal making becomes rampant without concern of the customer satisfaction. So customer satisfaction is going completely out of scope. So therefore we are not considering here, like we are not just considering one thing with respect to the customer. And first of all, customer satisfaction is not mentioned anywhere, so it's out of the scope of the passage. In my upcoming video today, I'll be telling you about the uh, very very interesting methods of eliminating the options, which will really help you reduce the time in doing these para completion questions. So we'll have that video as well. Second is, as a result, inefficiencies creep into the supply chain. Inefficiencies are already there in the supply chain. We don't need it more. Then as a result, everyone treats the other as an advisory rather than an ally. That means friend and enemies. Are we actually talking about friends and enemies anymore here? We already know the relations and we are not making comparison of the relations. All the relations are strained, equally strained. So no comparison between friend and enemy. Now moving to the fourth one, fundamental innovations are becoming scarce in the automobile industry, where we are not dealing with the innovations anymore in this paragraph. We are dealing with the relations and the effect of having strained relations. So that also goes away. Now I'm left with only one correct answer and I'll validate that. Everyone loses in the long run. Will it be called as a perfect effect? Effect of the cause is the strained relations, and these strained relations are actually leading to an effect, which is everyone is losing in the long run. Perfect, isn't it? So using the techniques which we learned above, we actually found out the answer very easily. Now that was all about this video, guys. In the upcoming video, I'll tell you how to eliminate the options so that you can solve the para completion questions faster and accurately at the same time. And with this, I'll also give you a practice PDF where you can practice more questions on the para completion. And in the upcoming videos, I'll take you through the moderate and the advanced level of para completion questions as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, then please like this video, share it with more and more people. And if you're new to this channel, then please subscribe to this channel. I have made sure that I'll be completing the complete CAT 2022 syllabus before the CAT 2022 actually takes place, and also prepare you for the XAT hand in hand. So that was all about it. Thank you so much for watching, and please take care of yourself.